I don't have permission to tell this story, but for the past couple days, I've been thinking about my one of my big sisters. We were the opposites. We were the day and night, the peanut butter and jelly. It was like when she came out of the womb, like that comedy sketch says, she had a glass of wine in one hand and a cigar in the other. I mean, she was just a badass from the start. I grew up with stories about her refusing to sit in my mom's lap and crawling underneath all the pews from the back of the chapel to go up and sit on my dad's lap when he was bishop and to my mother. I mean, she was the middle finger that I could never put up. And I stood in awe of her. I was always in her shadow. We were roomies a lot. And her stuff was cooler than my stuff, and her clothes was cooler than my stuff. She dared to do things like put on jeans once she got to school when we weren't allowed to do it, or get a bikini and go up on the roof and get a tan while my parents were in the backyard gardening, and she would be up there on the other side of the roof where they couldn't see her, but the road could. And I still regret the night that I was in the car with my dad, which is a place he liked to talk to us a lot, and I was feeling guilty. I don't know if I'd come from a church fireside or if he was just leaning on me because I remember it was a really long trip, somewhere between when we were relocating between two towns. And I had helped my sister to sneak around with her boyfriend. And I knew that she'd gone all the way, and the purity culture was weighing on me, and her eternal salvation was just heavy on my soul. And so I told my dad about my sister's sin. I didn't know that she'd already gone to a Mormon bishop. She'd already not been taking the sacrament, and she had already resolved it. And my parents turned it around and re-punished her. They took away privileges, and I stood there and watched and felt like crap. And she was so upset with me for betraying her trust. And I hadn't done it out of malice. I really thought that her soul was in jeopardy. And so I felt double guilty. But she was such a badass after my parents took away her bedroom door. Picture this. You know how prudish they are. I've told other stories. So she calmly left the bathroom without a towel and got dressed in the full nude of her wide open door like the queen and badass bitch she was. And again, I stood in awe that she could do stuff like that when I was such a chicken. And I think that's why it breaks my heart that she is now in the Young Women's Presidency teaching girls the crap that she hated so much. She was my rock star.